Previously on Justice Grimm. Two of the Justice Grimm writers were mugged, beaten, tased, and kidnapped by Shadow Squad, who arranged the whole scene to convince whoever was watching that the writers had been taken care of. Let's find out what happens on this episode of Justice Grimm Mythologies.
So, are we free to go? What about Tony? Where is Tony? If you destroyed him, I'm giving you a heads up that Tony's family is 100% Italian, and they'll put a vendetta out on you. They'll find you like the Tasmanian devil, a whirlwind of relentless savagery. And if you have just tortured him, it probably won't faze his parents, but his sister. Well, let's just say of the two, she's significantly tougher, braver, more daring, fearless, and dependably not afraid of the dark. And if you've just been questioning him, well, I'm pretty sure it's way past dinner time for the Tony residents. I'd be concerned if I were you.
Okay, first off, your coworker will be released to his guardians at the appropriate time. If I were you, I would be more concerned about what Comrade will do to him if it happens to be that he cannot keep a secret after all. Let's just say that Comrade is authorized to use techniques, specialized techniques, secret classified need-to-know techniques.
You really don't know Tony's folks. Fair enough. And I don't care what super top secret move she can do if she's gonna fight your little Confederate then. You know that might make for a spectacle. Gladiator style. That would write itself. Well, I mean, Tony will obviously be the itself in that regard, so the sooner you release is the better. Can I go use the bathroom?
Sure. Just exit the door and take the first left. Well, it's the only left, but you have to go right to get to the only left. And then follow the sign down to the elevator, and then take the middle elevator to the basement. Not the second or the third basement, but the first basement. You'll take another left. And if you time it right, you can avoid the sprinkler, and then the men's is going to be on the right. Wait, actually, there's guard dogs down there right now, so, I'll be right back. And don't give me that look, I'm going to get an empty Gatorade bottle from the trash can. Should only take a minute. Please hold.
Says while Comrade was settling for the Powerade bottle instead, but only out of necessity since the former are larger in vital areas, as opposed to the latter, which would have to do. Comrade, let's just call the short one CC and the tall one CB for the reader's sake, so CC has just awakened Tony, who was napping in the other interrogation room.
Wakey, wakey. Time to rise and shine. Sunshine. It's a brand new day. Well, not really. It's actually quite late. But the night is young or so, the creepy saying goes. And yes, it's time to get up and get started with a long, productive night of assassinating. Assisting us with something. Would you like some tea?
What? Where am I? How did I? Oh, no. Where's? I missed dinner for sure. No wonder I passed out. Hey, you. Oh, great. So where's redacted? Whoa, hey, wait. Did you redact my words in real time? I didn't know that you could do that. Data expunged. Redacted. Redacted. Data expunged. Redacted.
Did you get that out of your system? Because I really must insist that absolutely on no account should that happen again in my presence during this assignment. Are we clear? Good. Now, actually, wait a tick. I have to take this call. Excuse me a moment.
Right. So I'll just be here, then, oh boy, what a mess. What a conundrum. An existential paradox of fatal consequences in dire straits, my back virtually up against the so-called wall. Here I am not 2 weeks on the job, and I've already been kidnapped and threatened by a 900-year-old little girl with brass knuckles. Well, at least they put me up in halfway decent interrogation room. I wonder if Shadow Squad rents these rooms out from someone. Maybe someone who did the back rooms? What? Whoa. By Hans, I didn't see you there.
And oh! Did I scare you? I'm sorry. I must remember to file that information away for later though. But yes, I'm back. I'm also 300, not 900. Thank you very much. And as far as the back rooms, well, they assigned me there once. Just once. It was really an awfully silly place, to be perfectly honest with you.
What did you mean by for later? Never mind. I could have swore I heard your compatriots say that you were 900. Sorry about that. When do I get to go home? If we'll agree to all this beforehand, then why am I being interrogated? I already told the other one. Your friend, the other confidant. I told her everything about the first season. Will was the intern writer back then, so that's got to be good enough for you guys, right? I don't know, make some sort of deduction. Work out just from the gaps in our stories to figure out how everything happened. I even told her about the encounter with those white wolves. I may have only been like 12 years old, but no one could tell you more about that than my sister, actually. You would probably get along. Hopefully.
12. You say? Interesting. Well, here's the thing, Agent. Unlike my comrade, I'm somewhat of a telepath, you might say. Kind of like the Vulcans. But in non-science fiction terms, it could be said that my species do not use words as much as yours do, so we developed non-verbal communication to the point of being able to mind meld. I'd like to think it way more along the lines of a Bene Gesserit, like Arcana, as opposed to the Roddenberryist thaumaturgy, and I'm sure you've already guessed the next step that I'm about to take. You have an imagination, right, Tony? You are a writer, yes? Well, that puppy dog look tells me that you absolutely do know. So let's get started. You're about to have 300 years of experiences from a lifetime of training, and countless, I do mean countless numbers of assassinations and leading Shadow Squad operations. During this mind meld, you will see, feel and think some classified top secret stuff. And if you tell another living soul a single word about what you're about to go through, well, I suppose I will have to strangle you to death. Haha, just kidding. We use amnestics for that part. Ready? Set. Geronimo.
DB then enters the room with Will, looking all too disinterested and somewhat indifferent to the environment of information extraction as he follows in. Behind, they're both shocked to find Cece on the floor and Tony face down on the table, both unconscious.
Oh no, comrade. Hey, comrade, what happened? Why are you on the floor? Are you okay? Did you do the Vulcan thing too much? Speak to me, comrade. Ah, ouch. Hey, what the hell was that for?
You told him I was 900 years old. I'm only 300 at best. Do you even know what my kind look like when we're that old?
Oh, you, little. No one knows a crom damn thing about your kind. You spent more time in Heart Realm than any other agent ever has, that's for sure. It was only a year on this side, but in Heart Realm it was at least 100 years. But there's no way to measure time there anyway.
Heart Realm? No way. So isn't that where all those card games and giant chess sets are? So the King and Queen of Heart Realm are. Whoa. That must have been the single most incredible mission one could be given. You hid that from your mind well enough. I thought you had a really rough time at school or something. What happened to you there?
Oh, trust me. I will tell you all about it. But first we have to get down to why we are here in the first place. Business and all that jazz. Yes. So, comrade. My interrogation revealed these two are absolutely the ones. Confirmed.
So, that's what that was. Scary. Does that mean that you've seen into my mind? My deepest thoughts. The secrets that I plan on taking with me to my grave are now the intellectual property of a 300-year-old little girl. Oh, that's not fair. Oh boy. Yeah, the guys at Security Division are going to have a field day. Couldn't you have just asked me instead?
Wait, that's... So you know where the boatman is hiding, and where Peter Pan and Wendy are, and you know the locations of all the magic pools? How about the Central Castle's death pit site, El Dorado? How about Waldo? Do you know where he is? Look, I'm sorry that was not very professional of me to be so contextually sarcastic. So, comrade, you took a stroll through this one's Garden of the Mind? Was it as diabolical and twisted as the Commandant believes it to be?
It was. And also awfully privileged. Spoiled, you might say. But, and possibly brilliant. And the other one tends to make him disturbingly lazy. I don't see how any work is ever done with these two in charge. And their little tribe of writers all seem to be ironically plagued with a misguided sense of altruism. It's cute. Stupid, but cute.
Dude, well, ouch. Ow, hey. Why did you just punch me in the face? That hurt like hell.
You were being too quiet. I don't trust quiet guys. From now on you have to say something regularly or, well, let's just say the beatings will continue until crew morale improved.
Oh, I love that game. Do you know, I always end up hitting them, even if they're about to say something. No matter what she says about these so-called rules.
Hey, Ark, geez. Why did I get punched? I've been talking. I always talk. Ah, I think I bit my tongue a little.
So, do you happen to know any of those ridiculous places are? Being the Shadow Squad, there shouldn't be anything that the two of you should not already know or have the clearance to investigate, right? Answer me.
We don't know the locations of any of those things that she mentioned. The only exception is obviously Waldo. And no one wants the risk of being stalked, harassed, and vanished by that weird French Parisian creep.
Oh, I know me. Pick me. I've actually been to El Dorado. But the gate and space-time coordinates change way too often for anyone to mark it down. Could you imagine the nightmare their zoning department goes through?
Oh no, I know it. I just know it. I can sense it deep down. We are not getting out of this alive.
No, they can't destroy us. Not yet. I could sense that. She's good at hiding her thoughts. But there's no way Shadow Squad is authorized to take out 2 staff writers. Am I right?
All right, so are we gonna stop goofing around and get to the whole explaining as to why we are being interrogated like this? I'm all for cooperation, but a little hint of half-baked story would go a long way in making me feel more at ease. And when someone is more at ease, they're more likely to talk. And ouch. Damn. Ah, that was a cheap shot. Arg, that almost knocked the wind out of me. Why did you hit me?
Man, that looked like it really, really, really hurt. Are you okay?
Real's comrade. You hit him so hard. It was actually pretty adorable. He's right though, so go ahead and do the mind meld with him.
Oh, whoa there. Hey now, why are you? Oh my, your fingers are so cold. Oh, but your mind is. What is your mind doing? In my head? Oh gosh, oh well. Now if you really insist on snooping around up there, I gotta warn you against.
Ah, no, by Crom. That was vile. Yeah, no. I'm not linking with that weirdo's mind again. But I think I got what we needed.
That means we can conclude our business in the fortress tonight. But before we go, there is someone who wants to meet with you and tell you a little story. Something that I'm sure you've been wanting to hear this entire time.
Editor's note. Due to the redacted dialogue amounting to some inappropriate banter and revealing way too many classified pieces of information, I am fast-forwarding this skullduggery to a point in the transcript that happens directly after all kinds of insults and borderline verbal abuse has been exchanged. You'll thank me later. And don't worry, I couldn't redact all of the horsing around. Let's just say that the writers are met by the retired Justice Primus as the one and only Anita Carmen Sandiego DeVille, who served 9 terms as the Primus before retiring after being found not guilty for the destruction of her mother Cruella DeVille. Madame Mem also has just cruelly disabled both Shadow Squad operatives and is addressing the writers in a conversation that I have transcribed below.
Mem, gentlemen, I hope my operatives didn't spoil you too much today. I see some bruises. Yes, very good. But are there any mental scars? I guess there's only one way to find out. Yes. Lovely now. I've just cast a sword in damn necklace mode and have positioned it above your heads, just in case you plan on escaping. I'm afraid I used up all the amnestic spell on those 2 needy little foxhounds, so I hope you'll forgive me for using such cheap thaumaturgy. Now, since we're all set up for this talk, it's time to, well, have a little chat. You'll notice the gags that are now tying themselves, and it's only just a precaution because I absolutely hate being interrupted, but try not to be so worried. Even though your fear is like sunshine to me, and since both of you have been exchanged your cerebral impressions with Agent Skittles over there, you know that the situation is not something I can ignore. Are you comfortable? Here, let me cast some more duct tape in case you don't feel so secure in those chains. There we go. Yes, you both look absolutely atrocious. Yes, like mummies. Poor mummies, with no taste for fashion. I approve. Now, where were we? Oh yes, that's right. I was just about to destroy the both of you for meddling in the affairs that you should have left alone.
At this point, Cece gets up and at the last imaginable moment, and at cost of the most unimaginable pain, manages to do a mind melt with Mem to relay the info that directed the former Primus to reconsider and spare their lives. Cece falls to the floor again.
Say, most excruciating. Oh dear. I mean, my dear, I was just fooling around. You Punishment Corps are all sensitive, and for working with a bunch of fairy tale scum, that's surprising, but whatever. Seems our tricentennial half-pint over here has recovered the true information that we need to blow this castle. I mean, this case, yes, blow this case wide open. Yes, yes. And luckily, for the both of you, Shorty can endure some of the most immeasurable pain imaginable. The last elf who did a mind melt with me became a true Looney Tunes character. Entirely and most voluptuously went mad. And oh dear, the poor thing couldn't help but hurt himself. I guess to know my mind was the deal-breaker that convinced him life was a Grimm. Far too grim. Well, to be honest, the paralysis spell would feel like needles and pins with every single move of muscles. In many ways, it hurt me too, in fact, gentlemen. I may be about to fall down. Oh no, I say. At least I didn't break my neck falling. Seems I can still talk, but I cannot move. Oh, what a pity. If I'm out, there won't be any way for anyone to leave without getting run through by my damn swords. Oopsie daisy. Oh, what little joy some adversity brings. I hope you're all still conscious and only just paralyzed. You see, those magical bonds will expire in about 6 hours, unless I snapped my fingers. But, as you can see, well, I don't think you can see right now. I can tell you right now, but since we're all here, I might as well just give you a little story instead. I'm sure the weasel will like this one a lot. Once upon a time, there were tribes that decided to work together to build a place to meet. Over a millennia, the site became a tower. And by the time the story takes place, the tower is so big that to march around it would take weeks. And it was so tall that the top could not be seen. The Primus of the Tower Alliance was a powerful administrator who had magical abilities as well as people skills. During one of the meet and greets, a tiny baby girl was offered as she was, and this was the tradition, to be raised in the tower. The child's name was Roxanne, and she grew up as a wild and devious child. And this allowed her to become the primary secretary eventually. Meaning she was the only other person who was given the keys to the rooms at the top of the tower. There were 13 keys and 13 rooms, but the room that was labelled 13 was off limits, and no one was to go inside it. It was forbidden, and when the Primus was away elsewhere, Roxanne became too curious and decided that she would go only peek through the cracked door. That way she would not have technically gone into the room, or that was what she told herself, and she did just that. Roxanne saw what was in room 13 through the crack in the door, and that was all. She closed and locked the door just as quickly as her eyes could have seen what was in there. When the Primus returned, there was evidence that revealed what Roxanne had did. When asked if Roxanne had gone into the room labelled 13, she answered, "No, I did not." And that made Primus angry, and she cast Roxanne out of the tower after getting her a job at one of the first castles made under the Grimm Empire. And because the tower was a bunch of socialist hippies, Roxanne's hair had never been cut, and this made her stand out at work. Eventually, the prince who would be known as the king managed to court Roxanne and fall in love with her. But they ended up having children before being married, and tradition had it that those children would be raised in the tower. So the Primus used each opportunity to collect Roxanne's children to ask if Roxanne had gone into room 13. Each time Roxanne denied it. When the prince was crowned king and Roxanne was officially a queen, the Primus came for their officially sanctioned offspring. Now this was a traditional occurrence, and during the encounter that King confronted Primus, who revealed why Roxanne was cast out of the tower, Roxanne told me that she only peeked through the crack and shut the door right away, said the king. The primus fumed with anger over this. She accused Roxanne of sharing the secret of the tower, the secret that would eventually destroy the tower. But Roxanne told the truth. "No, I did not tell him what I saw, Primus," said Roxanne. This worked to interrupt the primus in all her outrage. All that time, Roxanne had actually managed to redeem her trustworthiness. Primus still wanted the prince, however, after a heated custody battle. There was an investigation into the conditions of the tower, as well as the safety of those who lived within it. In that ancient tower, they found in every room was evidence of corruption and embezzlement of the so-called United Tribes that would slowly abandon their embassy in the tower. The resulting disrepair neglect would shut down the whole structure upon it being condemned as an unlivable and also posing a terrible risk as no guardrails existed, and it wasn't uncommon for accidents to happen. And that's how the greatest accomplishment in human history regarding cooperation, unity and powerful communication network was outed as a communist pyramid scheme. It took years, but not one stone was left on top of that place, and its very location is now only guessed at. And no tribe, from no matter how far away, seems to speak the language, as though whatever kept us in sync went away when they brought down that marvel of ancient engineering. Oh dear, that wasn't an entirely very happy ending, that was it. If only I could snap my fingers.
The devious commander of Shadow Squad, having finished her pointless story that no doubt was likely an enchantment to cause everyone who heard it to fall asleep, drifted into a deep slumber herself, no doubt dreaming of ways to torment the writers within inches of their lives while they served her agenda. Will the writers be able to make good their chance to escape? Escape to where exactly? Find out in the next preposterous episode of Justice Grimm Mythologies.